have one of those weeks where it just seems like things just don't want to go right for you? This past week, I didn't get out here till Saturday. Today's Sunday that I'm recording. So this past week, weather was kind of crap. And so I didn't really come out here. I couldn't get what I wanted to get done because it was cold and everything else. And then Friday, going to work, the daily died. So it's sitting in town at my brother's workplace, so we're going to look at it. It might be fuel pump, might be that fuel pump module thing. Don't know yet. I didn't really have a chance to look at it that night, so we'll probably go look at it maybe next Saturday or something. But it's coming up to being Easter, so it might sit for a little while. So then I had to go and plate the BMW, and just not fun. And searching around for parts, I couldn't find them and all that other fun stuff. So then I had to make a decision that, okay, well, I'm going to have to go to the parts car and pull a bunch of stuff off the parts car. So that's what I did. And remember how probably for the past few videos I've been talking about how it's gonna fly. Like, we're gonna fly. Like, that's just what's happening. We're gonna fly. Well, I'll show you this. Old valve covers are off, which can only mean one thing. The painted ones are on the car. And so last night I got the seals put in Saturday night. My buddy Levi, Trunk Lid Productions again. Definitely, I'll link his videos, his channel in the description. Definitely go check him out. He pressed them in for me because he's got the tool, and he's got the tool, and he's got the knowledge on how to do it properly and easily. We had it done, like, I think I was there maybe half an hour, and we were bullshitting for quite a bit of it. And I know when I did them on that set, one side took me half an hour. So sometimes it's worth it to go hang out with it's always worth it to go hang out with your friends. So don't think it's not a good idea to go hang out with your friends because you got other stuff to do. Just, life is short and fleeting, so make the memories you can. Enough being philosophical. There's the engine. The valve covers are on. The wiring harness is on. Most of the hosing is done. Pretty much everything on this side is done. The mount for the power steering reservoir, the screw that actually holds it in, was stripped. So I went to the back. I don't know if it'll focus. Went back to the Concorde where I grabbed the hoses and an ignition coil and the power steering hose and these little quick nut things. Went back out there again and grabbed the very greasy, grimy, you can't even see it in there, bracket. So I'm going to clean that up, and then I'll debate if I'm going to paint it or not. I think that's what caused that, was paint got in a thread and stripped it out. So that's drying, or not drying. That's soaking to be cleaned. We are getting ridiculously close now, folks. Pretty much everything on this side is almost done. This is map sensor, oxygen sensor there. Power cable to this box is set up. The grounds are done. I've got things zip tied and wired up so that they're not touching exhaust and whatnot. This is just loosely zip tied because this attaches to the intake plenum when the time comes. So, but I was just tired of it falling down into the depths and then getting my hand stuck. This is throttle cable. I've got this coolant line is hooked up. It's zip tied up to keep this out of the way. This is zip tied over and out of the way so it clears for the steering rack. Yeah, it's this is vent line. I got to figure out what I'm doing with that. Power lines are all clear of stuff. I got to zip tie this over in a couple places just so it stays out of the way. But yeah, like I said, once we were rolling, we're ripping. Like, this is in now, and the injectors are in, and that's all done. Everything on this side is done and bolted together. I got to put that back in. I started to clean it, and then it was starting to get brown, so I was like, well, I'll just leave it. I'm fairly certain this is air conditioning related, so once I have everything else on, I'm probably just going to snip this here, because it's of no use to me. So, but yeah, I think that's what it was air conditioning of some sort. So that's going to get snipped. I don't think it's for the other thing I've got, but CV shaft still isn't in because I was fighting with that. I noticed that this ball joint was crunchy. I don't know how well it's going to catch on camera. So I noticed that was crunchy. So I've got those on order. There, most of them are here. I was like, well, I'll just do both sides because, well, it's high mileage. I can't remember when I did the other side. This side needs to be done, and I was going to do the strut rod bushings. I got to get the right size socket for that. Take the control arm off, take the strut rod arm off, give them a quick wipe down, and put the new bushings in. The downside, the control arm is supposed to come with hardware. The control arm I ordered showed up at work, and it didn't have any hardware. So, and at first I was like, oh, whatever, if it's for the other side, I can wait, and well, no big deal. And then while I was checking the numbers, it was for the side I actually need right away. So I was like, well, that royally sucks. So that's on order. I think I'll probably fight the CV shaft in when I have this stuff off, just because if this stuff is out of the way, it'll make it a whole lot easier. I can probably get a bit straighter, and I can I'm debating if I'm taking the strut mount out, because getting it straight in there is an absolute pain. So, like, I might take the whole strut out, but then I'd have to take off the tie rod end. And if I'm going to take off the tie rod end, I'd probably look at making sure that I don't need an outer tie rod end or the adjusting sleeve. And if I was taking that off, then I'd take off the sway bar link, and then I'd probably have to replace the sway bar link. But these sway bar links are actually still in really good shape, and they're super beefy. So, yeah, it's snowballing, because there's other things that need to be done. But that was kind of a case of, I saw it and I was like, I can't take it in for an alignment knowing that it's shot, because that's not going to help. Hopefully you guys could even see me there, because that was kind of dark in that area. I don't have lights on that side of the shop. I will soon. I'm going to add lights on that side. I've got some track lights that I want to put in, and I got to do something with the roof, and insulate or something. So I'll probably do roofing, and then do some strapping or something on the under the ends, and maybe just insulate the top. And I'll do track lighting off of these beams, and then I can store stuff up there. There might be exhaust pipe that I can use up there. That would be sweet. But yeah, that's where we're at for now. You'll notice there is nothing on the board. I haven't listed anything down because I come out. I know roughly what I need to do. So the list is getting the main list I have inside is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and now it's starting to get filled up with more stuff, but it's all like little stuff that isn't super big deal type stuff. Stuff like the stickers I want to put on, and getting it cleaning it properly, and stuff like that. So still a few big things. I need a new battery. I need to adjust the fuel pressure, but I can't do the fuel pressure till I have a battery and I can get this into a running state, because I need to turn the key on. So that's kind of where that's at for fuel pressure. So that's waiting. Once I get this in, then once that's in, then I can put the alternator in, and I can put the lower rad hose on, and then I can put the rad in, and I can put the upper rad support on. So then that almost pretty much completely takes care of the front of the car. And then it's just the lower suspension stuff that I want to change, mostly just due to its age and such. As it stands right now, I'm not in a big rush to get the washer fluid reservoir in. I'm going to figure that out yet, but I need to figure out mounting and height and all that stuff, and where I want to mount it perfectly. So that's still going to happen, but that might be a separate little series on its own. Getting this into a running state is first priority. That's kind of after. That doesn't matter till the car's running. So I still have this. I've got this mounted as well. So most of the cooling system is sorted through already. All that's left is the coolant lines for the turbo. But I want to double check and make sure which is which. Because if this is the feed line from the engine, then I want to put this inline here somehow. This might go over here. I don't know. I got to double check, see how things were hooked up. Put this here, and then put the other one here in line, and then, because I have to cut up those hoses, so then once that's done, then it's in. And once that's in, then it's put in the intake and whatnot. So I should clean this up and paint this end just to kind of make it a little bit nicer. So mostly just because everything else has been painted and cleaned up and such. So bam, kind of sort of like that. So I'll probably do that later. But yeah, we are flying along. I've modified the bumper where I needed to for the hole for it to be open for the oil cooler. I still need to duct that properly away from there. For the time being, it's just gonna kind of just be opened and flow through. Still nothing leaked out for transmission fluid. I need to add more transmission fluid, but I'm waiting to do that till I can get it to a running state. Because even if it's sitting up in the air and it's in a running state, I can just run it and get it up to, not up to speed, but make sure that there's fluid getting into the torque converter. So, but yeah, it is not an end, because this project will never end. There's still a lot of stuff I want to do, but we are running out of stuff that need to be done to get it back on the road, which is really, really good. I still need to go see Greg, pick up my other mirror so I can get that mounted on the other side, and then once it's running and I have it sitting, I'll figure out the exact position where I want the mirrors to sit so I can just quick glance and see over whichever way I got to go. It might actually make it for April 17th. I'm hoping it will. But life happens, so BMW's plated now. Not in the way I wanted it to be plated, but it's plated now, so I've got that as a backup plan. This thing's plated till the 17th, but I'm hoping I've got Easter weekend coming up this coming weekend, so that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe a little bit Sunday morning, but I might just record whatever I get done Friday, Saturday, and then bring it, get it uploaded for an Easter episode type idea. But that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Links in the description for Levi's channel. I'm trying to get him to get back into posting videos and stuff. He might do it. It depends if I send enough people his way to check out his stuff. So, but that'll be it. So stay fit, have fun, keep your stick on the ice, and all that fun, wonderful Canadian jazz. And I will see you in the next one.